Even with my eyes shut, my pupils couldn't dilate enough to filter out the white-hot ultraviolet rays of the Haitian sun. I fumbled with my backpack for some time in the blinding light until I found a pair of sunglasses. I still couldn't see. One pair wasn't enough. I plunged my arm back into the backpack to find another pair and placed them atop the first. That did it. I could see, finally. I saw tourists, mostly, swarms of them, in floral-printed bathing suits and with broad-rimmed straw hats and dripping with sunscreen. I saw boats, 4 of them, all with the seal of the world's largest cruise line, Royal Caribbean. This was the final stop of the week-long cruise that my parents had been promising me throughout the school year. It was day number 5, and I was elated. I had eaten my weight in room service, slept until 2 p.m. every day, and lounged by the pool all night. And now, I was in Labadee, a picturesque island off the coast of Hispaniola, according to the announcement from the cruise director. Privately owned by the Royal Caribbean Cruise Company, the passengers of the ship could rest assured that they wouldn't have to share the beaches with locals or passengers of other cruise ships. It would be ours for the day. My family had big plans for Labadee. We made reservations a few months in advance for the most desired excursion on the island, ziplining. We walked through the crowded beaches of Labadee, brimming with grills and picnic tables and volleyball nets and overfed, oversunned Americans, to line up at a bus with other zipliners. "No cameras, folks. Keep 'em in a locker," the Jamaican director of the excursion yelled. No cameras, I thought. But then I understood. The site would probably be loaded with photographers who forced you to buy their pictures of you. I was annoyed, but I thought little of it. This was the way cruises worked. We could buy a couple of pictures anyway. They'd probably be better than the ones we would take ourselves. I sat on the bus next to my sister, who was clutching one of those water-squirting fans half an inch from her face. "Are you excited?" I asked her. "I'm hot," she whined with the spoiled tone that rang in the voices of most children on the cruise ship. I turned to look out the window at Labadee as we drove away to the ziplining site. The entire peninsula was coated with lush green forest. I don't really like tropical climates, but I even had to admit that this place was beautiful and serene. We arrived at a foreboding fence, 12 feet high, stone, with barbed wire at the top. A stark contrast from the surrounding forests and beaches and natural beauty. A guard with a large gun and a furious look painted on his face motioned for us to drive through the singular, narrow opening in the fence. On the other side of the fence was another world. Instead of fattened white tourists, I saw scrawny, black children wearing tank tops 3 sizes too big and dirty jeans, all of them but one glaring at me. The other was digging through a garbage can. Instead of pristine beaches, I saw dilapidated huts with pregnant women and whining infants glistening in the 105-degree weather. These women looked at the tinted windows of the bus with the same look of disgust and disdain that the children near the garbage can had. I realized we were in Haiti. Haiti, one of the most impoverished and underdeveloped nations in the world. Haiti, where the starving children with enlarged stomachs that I saw on TV lived. Haiti, where the majority of citizens live on less than $2 per day. Of all places, Haiti. On one side of the 12-foot-tall fence, the Labadee side, my mother paid $100 for a 45-minute massage in a cabana by the beach. My little sister whined after being refused a third ice cream cone. My uncle complained that the complimentary hamburgers from the barbecue stand were undercooked. On the other side, Haitian children picked through the garbage for food and clothes. Mothers nursed their infants in sweltering heat. Gluttony next to famine. Luxury next to austerity. Nowhere else in the world is there a more ironic juxtaposition. On January 12, 2010, a devastating earthquake, a 7 on the Richter scale, killed more than 230,000 people in Haiti. The already struggling economy crumbled, healthcare was inaccessible, millions suffered. Labadee, however, was unaffected by the earthquake. Royal Caribbean even continued ushering tourists to its pristine beaches in the wake of the earthquake. The CEO of Royal Caribbean arranged a $1 million donation to the Haitian government as a show of good faith, though. $1 million from a multi-billion-dollar powerhouse that controls 25% of the cruise line industry. $1 million from a company with 8 gigantic cruise ships capable of transporting food and medical supplies. $1 million. As one article puts it, it's much like tossing some coins over the side of the fence to watch the happy darkies dive and surface for them with big smiles. Inside the bus, most people were too busy watching movies on iPads, or napping in front of portable fans, or eating Ritz Bits cracker sandwiches to take any notice of the outside world. The bus driver was speeding. The tourist can't be burdened with this eyesore for too long. Within a few minutes, I found myself in another pen, walled with another prison-like fence, surrounded by the same chubby, sunburned, spoiled tourists, with glee across their faces at the sight of the ziplining tower. I, too, couldn't help but get a little bit excited about the tower. It was 200 feet tall. But the cognitive dissonance was too much for my body to handle. I vomited in the woods.